Hello, happy 2026. I know it's been a minute, aka a year, since I've posted anything onto this channel, so please forgive me. I have no excuses, unfortunately. If you are a returning customer slash subscriber, thank you. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. If you're interested in any life updates, I can give a few at the very end of this video. But let's get into my 2025 favorites. Okay, let's start with beauty and fashion because I think that's the easiest thing for me to talk about. So the first thing I have is a mascara, and it is the e.l.f. Lash Extender. Before I go into this, some context. My eyelashes are long but very straight, and they kind of point downwards and very stubborn. Nothing really holds the curl. I do use a waterproof mascara, which obviously that's gonna hold the curl, but it is a huge pain to take off. So I don't wear a waterproof mascara on the day-to-day. For years, I have been wearing the Glossier Lash Slick because it's done a pretty okay job at holding the curl, not as good as a waterproof would, but for the day-to-day, it's fine, and it's very, very easy to wash off. Now, in 2025, I discovered this e.l.f. mascara, which is essentially a dupe of the Glossier one. Arguably does a better job of holding the curl, which is great, but the main thing is it's cheaper, and we love that. And it does not run out as fast. Somehow, the tube feels the same shape and size, but this is only my second one, and I believe my first one I got at the tail end of last year. It lasted a good couple of months, whereas the Glossier one with everyday use would not last me that long. It also has the same brush tip as the Glossier one has. That's the kind of silicone plasticky one that isn't a brush the way that you would traditionally think about mascara. So it's lovely. Next up, and this is pretty niche, but it's this Kabuki blush brush. I don't know how many people are going to appreciate something like this because there's a whole range of blush brushes out there and everyone has their own preference. My preference is small because I mean that in terms of size, because I want it to fit in my makeup bag that encloses, doesn't have any sort of organization to it, and I want the tip of the brush to be protected and not just rifle in there with everything else that's in my makeup bag. So for some reason, that was very difficult for me to find a blush brush that was small enough to fit the bag and also had a cover on it. I honestly don't know what brand this is. It just says Travel Kabuki, but I got it at Ulta, and I will find the link. But other than the size, it's just a solid blush brush, pretty soft. Nothing to really write home about, but for me it is perfect. And then it has this little metal part that holds the bristles in place while you cap it. It's great for travel, but this is just what I use every day. Last thing on beauty before we get to fashion is this perfume, and I've actually seen so much social media ads and sponsored things, I believe, on this perfume, but it is Dead Cool's Milk fragrance. This was a birthday gift from my friend Emily, and as you can see, it is very well loved. She bought it and she received a ton of compliments on this fragrance from, people like myself included, and she ended up getting this for me, and it is just so good. It doesn't smell like milk. Milk is a very misleading word, but it just smells so feminine, but not in a very traditionally feminine way. To me, if I hear that a scent is feminine, I'm thinking vanilla or something really floral, and it doesn't smell like that at all. But it's not masculine. It kind of smells, and this is so subjective, but it smells like a teacher, a really young, cool elementary school teacher. I'm honestly thinking about like a teacher that I had in elementary school, that she was really young and cool and like beautiful, and she always smelled really good, and this is what I think she smells like. But it's feminine in like a very powerful way. I don't know if that's doing it justice, but it's great. I love it. Okay, next, a couple fashion items, and the first I am wearing right now, and they are the Uniqlo barrel pants. Call me a trend follower because I know barrel pants are super in right now, but dang, they look so good. They just make every outfit look very polished, yet still cool. They're like a tailored pant without being so like work coded, I feel. They look great. I will wear them to like work if I'm going into the office or meeting colleagues for an offsite. But the other thing is that they're just so comfortable. So to have an item that is both really comfortable and makes you look really polished, I just gravitate towards wearing these pants all the time. As you can see, I'm at home today, but it's still something that I'm wearing. The next item, which is also a Uniqlo item, is this black pleated set. And it's kind of an Issey Miyake dupe, but it is just so gorgeous, so elegant, and I got so much use out of it in 2025. I traveled a lot in 2025, and that was always in my suitcase no matter where I was going, because it is just an outfit that you don't need to put any thought in. It's a matching set. I think the pleats make it look naturally elevated and elegant. And depending on how I style it with sneakers or with heels, like I can dress it up, dress it down, but I still look really put together. Unfortunately, I got this quite a few years ago, so I don't think they sell or make these anymore. But if you find like a black, I think it does have to be black, a matching black set, I think that's such a great closet staple to have. All right, last item in the fashion category are these heels. I got these heels in Brazil. I wonder if they sell them in the US or anywhere else. But I went to 4 weddings last year, and I think I wore them at 3 out of the 4, including my own wedding. So these heels are so comfortable. The most comfortable pair of heels I've ever put on my feet. Do they look the cutest? Probably not. They're not like the most elegant, dainty, like sexy heel, but they are so practical. I actually copied my mom with this heel. She bought it first and I borrowed it from her. Loved it so much that I needed to get my own pair, but you can just wear them everywhere. They're more on the casual side, but I find even at like a wedding, unless it is super black tie, and even with black tie you can probably wear them because your dress will just cover most of your feet anyways. It's just so practical because it is so comfortable, and it's cute enough that you can wear it with pretty much any outfit. Casual with jeans, or you can wear it with a dress. Like I said, I wore it to pretty much every single wedding that I went to last year, and I will probably wear it to weddings I go to this year and beyond. Okay, moving on to the next category, which is home stuff. This first item I have gotten the most use out of maybe everything on this list, and that is this throw blanket right behind me. Oh my gosh, I freaking love it. And I was on the hunt ever since I moved into this very apartment 3 years ago. I have been on the hunt for a throw blanket to replace my kind of like temporary throw blanket that was cheap. I feel like a lot of throws just look really cheap, and I wanted something that looked a little bit more luxe, but was still the like very fuzzy, comfy throw blanket texture that I'm used to. I also wanted something that was heavy, but not like a weighted blanket, and also most weighted blankets are very ugly in my opinion. So I wanted something more luxurious, something that didn't look cheap, something that was heavy, and something that I didn't have to pay like $400 for, because in the luxury world, anything goes. And I was like, am I gonna pay $400 for a throw blanket that's gonna sit on my couch? Probably not. Enter this blanket. I finally found it, and I use it every single day. I am somebody who sits on my couch, and I will not sit there if I don't have a blanket covering at least like my legs and feet. So I get a ton of use out of it. It's a great nap blanket as well, and I feel like it looks great. I really like the look of it. Next up, and this is a rather embarrassing item to admit to owning or getting so much use out of, but it is what Austin and I call our TikTok pillow. So you just stick your phone onto here, and if you're sitting on the couch, this can like sit on your chest, or like, you know, when we're in bed, this sits on our chest, and we can just scroll and not have to worry about the phone attacking our face, which if it's happened to you, you know how painful it is. This item has become so beloved and such a staple in our everyday lives that when we were in Shanghai on vacation, we went 3 times last year, we missed it so much, we got another one on Taobao when we were in China. Granted, this one's cheaper and arguably better, but I don't think you can get this one in the US. But we liked it so much, this specific version, that we were like, okay, let's just bring it back. So now we have 2 at home. And if scrolling on your phone is an inevitability, like, I mean, we're all trying to reduce our screen time here, right? But for our screen time, let's just be safe and make it enjoyable. Next item I got a lot of use out of and continue to get a lot of use out of is my Beast blender. I don't have it here because it's sitting on my kitchen counter, but as the name suggests, that thing is a beast. I'm pretty sure it's made an appearance on some of my vlogs before, but I love making smoothies. I think smoothies are delicious, and I've kind of gotten over my smoothie craze. I had a moment in time where I was like, I need a smoothie every single day. I'm trying to slowly get back to that, but the Beast blender is so amazing. It is really powerful. You do have to like shake it up a little bit, but it can handle ice. It can handle like the frozen fruits, as long as you put just enough liquid in it, and I like my smoothies really thick also, and it does a fantastic job, and it looks so nice. Like, come on, it just looks so beautiful, and it can just sit on top of your counter and not be like an eyesore in the kitchen, which I don't know who likes an eyesore in their kitchen or in their home, but for me personally, like, that is very important to not have eyesores around, especially for things that are like really prominent or like have a permanent place in my home. So Beast blender, highly recommend. This is a little bit of a tangent, but sometime either last year or the year before, Costco was selling the Beast blender for a ridiculously cheap price. I don't know what it was, but I paid whatever full price that you could pay for the Beast blender was, and a couple months later, I think I saw it in Costco, and I almost cried because it was like less than half off. It was probably like a fourth of the price, and I just didn't want to look at it because it hurt my soul, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I would pay full price for it again. On to a couple food items that I have. The first, which I laugh because I am surprised at how much I like these, but they are Chomps. If you've tried them, they are better than any of the other copycat kind of like Slim Jimmy snacks out there. They sell these at Costco now, which we obviously love. They used to sell, I think, the original version, and this is the jalapeno version. Honestly, they taste kind of the same to me, so I'll take whichever flavor that they sell. but these are such a great snack. They have 10 grams of protein, which I'm in my 30s. Anybody kind of there or approaching knows how important it is to get your protein in. I'm like starting to get back into the gym, which let's not talk about it. I don't want to jinx anything, but protein, very good, tastes great. Like I said, I also travel a lot, and this is like such a great snack for traveling because oftentimes I want something savory, but I don't want to like carry chips around. I don't want to have chips because it's not that healthy. And this like scratches the salty itch while not indulging in like whatever junk food of choice you have. The other food in quotes, that I have is this new matcha that I've been having for most of 2025. The reason being the matcha shortage. I can't get my normal matcha from Japan. For years, I bought the Marukyu Koyamaen, butchering the name, but as everybody who's into matcha knows, we can't get it. It's sold out everywhere, etc., etc. So I went looking for what I could get my hands on, and there's a cafe here in Chicago called Gathers, and they sell matcha by the tin. It's great. I use it for my everyday matcha. Is it the most affordable? Probably not, but it's accessible to me, and it's really good. It's really good quality matcha. If you live in Chicago and are into matcha, you probably already know about Gathers, but they have amazing matcha among other drinks, and I love to go there on a weekend when I'm not feeling like making my own, or I want like an extra strong, like good quality matcha. I know I can rely on them for that. On a similar vein to matcha, my last home category favorite is this matcha bowl. That I have kintsugi'd, if you cannot tell. I finally sat down, took the time to repair this bowl that was broken probably like a year and a half to 2 years ago. I bought myself a kintsugi kit back then, and if you ever endeavor to, have a kintsugi project, just like a real one, not the resin Amazon kind of repair kits that you see. If you want to use it for like a real like foodware, and you want to do it properly, just prepare yourself that it's going to take a long time. Like real kintsugi is a craft, and like you can't see the imperfections. I mean, I know it's all about the imperfections, but I did an okay job. It's my first time doing it. But it just takes quite a long time. But is it worth it? Yes, look at it. I love this bowl. So the story is I got this in Japan, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. And Austin unfortunately dropped it in the sink. It's fine, it's an accident, accidents happen. So one of the reasons, although not the main reason that this took so long, is that as I was piecing this together, I realized there was a piece missing, which is that piece right here. So what I had to do is make a new piece in our ceramic studio with our clay that fit into this like lovely hole here. And it wasn't hard, it just like shoved the clay into here. It shrunk, so you can see that the seams are not very even. But fire it, glaze it, fire it again, and then have to actually do the kintsugi project, which takes a long time. I'm gonna link the video that my kit shows you, and it's not a long video, but you'll see that you have to like wait days, or I waited just like at least a week in between each step, and it's like 6 steps. So I mean, I wasn't that on top of it. In short, it just took me forever, but now I love this bowl even more. Okay, that was really long-winded about the bowl, so I'm sorry about that. Let's move on to the last category, which is just other/entertainment. So the first thing is New York Times games. If you know me in my personal life, I am not really into games, but like puzzles and stuff I actually quite enjoy. And New York Times, I don't know how they do it. They have like really great puzzle game concepts. And my favorites are The Connections, which I think are really popular, Strands, which is kind of like a word search but with a twist, and the last one is the mini crossword. Emphasis on mini because the normal New York Times crossword is so hard for some reason. I don't know, I can't figure it out. I don't know how the clues really work. They word them in a way that you really have to get used to them, but the mini is totally approachable and really fun, quick to do. So Austin and I have a ritual where we will do the New York Times games, those three usually, before we go to bed or before we start our TikTok time, which, you know, we'll do it with the pillow. But I see it as a way to kind of like diversify our screen time so we're not just like doom scrolling or like rotting the whole time. Feels like a little bit more productive. It is fun too. I genuinely enjoy the games. It's not something that like we have to get through. I actually have fun doing it. And I would say it's really fun to do with like a partner or a friend. I just think it's fun to like verbalize your guesses or thoughts on the game. I say this because I've tried to do it on my own, and it's not that I don't know the answers. I know it made it sound like I just can't do it without somebody like giving me the answers. I would say I contribute at least like 50% to the guessing, but it's just fun to be able to talk about it. Okay, next, because I think this video is probably starting to get a little long. Film photography. I know, again, call me a trend follower. Everybody's getting into film, but I was bitten by the film bug in 2025. And it really started off because my friend Kyle, he got bit by the film bug, like, I don't know, during COVID, I think years ago. And I had him shoot Austin and my engagement photos, and he shot some of them on film. They looked amazing. I really, really loved them. And we met up, Kyle and I actually met up to shoot more just like cool, fun concepts. Like no reason, just like he wanted to shoot photos. I was like, I could use some nice photos of myself. Why not? And so we would go out shooting, and I just started off like just as a model, and that sounds like I'm a model. I'm not. I just started off being the subject of photos. And at the tail end of 2025, I kind of like picked up some old film cameras that I had lying around that got dumped on me when we moved out of our last house. They've just been kind of collecting dust, and I wanted to try my hand at it, and it is fun. It is really, really fun. Obviously not all my photos, most of my photos do not turn out well, but the learning process of just how to shoot film, how to adapt to whatever film stock you're using, whatever camera you're using, and all of the settings, it's just like a really fun experience. And I do feel like, I mean, I think everybody knows this inherently, that like film slows you down, whereas digital photography, you're just like very shutter happy because you can be. And with film, you just have to be a lot more intentional. I know it goes without saying, but super fun. Really love it. Last on my list is a Broadway show, and you may have heard of it. It is Maybe Happy Ending. So good. It is, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's about robots. It's a love story. I'm trying to think about what I can say without spoiling it. I think it's pretty clear that it's a love story from just the playbill, right? But anyways, it's just such a fun watch. The music is really, really great. Obviously, one of the reasons I feel connected to it is because it's Asian actors, it's set in Seoul, but it's just like a really feel-good play, and the music gets stuck in your head. I think that's the reason that it really makes it to this list of favorites is I've just been listening to the music over and over, and it's been so many months since I went to go see the show, and it's still music that I listen to. I would highly recommend it, especially if you're into something that's like wholesome, not too heavy, tugs at your heartstrings a little bit. It also won a bunch of Tonys, so if you're at all into the accolades, that's another reason to go watch it. I would also recommend, if you can, watch it before Darren Criss, who's the lead, kind of gets rotated out. He is an amazing, amazing actor. So he plays the role really, really beautifully. So if you can see it before he kind of gets switched out, I don't know who the next person will be, but he's definitely worth going for. Okay, so those are all of the favorites I had for 2025, but as promised, I will give some brief life updates because I know I've been away for like a year, but there's not too much to report on. The main big thing is I got married. So I got married in January of last year, so it's been a little over a year now. We also had our wedding. And then we had 3 other friends' weddings to go to, so a lot of travel last year. Every wedding was amazing, obviously. Our wedding was so much fun, etc. I don't really know what else to say about it. It happened, it was great, love it, we move on. I also switched jobs, although there isn't too much to report on really. I just switched from one job to another, no like major changes. I'm still within the same field, etc. It's really not much to report. Other than that, I mean, I'm still living in Chicago. We're still thinking about what our long-term plan is of like where to settle down and things like that. So unfortunately, the life update really isn't a huge life update. There's not much that's changed since I last came on here and was like posting content. I mean, it's funny because at the start of last year, start of 2025, I did try to record a video. I mean, that's not going up, but I remember saying something along the lines of like, I am pretty good where I am, just like in terms of like major life pillars. And if this year, 2025, just kind of stays the same, I'm good with it. And that's pretty much what happened. I mean, I got married and I got a new job, but largely things are the same. And I'd say that's probably the case for 2026 as well. Like, I'm quite happy where I am, and I don't need anything major in my life to change. I would say the one exception to that, and again, I don't want to talk about it much because I don't want to jinx it, is just like health and fitness. It's the beginning of the year. Of course, I'm going to be on my health and fitness right now. I am hoping that it really sticks because it's been something that I've wanted to do for so many years. But I know that's like a really common thing for people to want to improve. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. In short, those are the life updates. There's not that much to report. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you if you've made it all the way to the end. I know a bunch of YouTubers say that, but okay, this is just the formula at this point. Leave me a comment. I love comments. Leave me a comment if you have literally anything to say. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a magical day.